Hey, what's up dear viewers of the tube? My name is Mark and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will briefly go over a few more tips and tricks about Suboxone Taper. And if you wanna learn more, then definitely stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. I made a lot of videos about Suboxone and Suboxone tapering, and I know I received a lot of hate about why I talk about tapering a lot, and then tapering is not for everyone. Suboxone saved my life, and again, I am not trying to bash on people by those people that are actually taking Suboxone for a very long time, or the ones that are not willing to drop their dose to something smaller. And again, it's totally your choice, totally your opinion, and I definitely understand those that are claiming that Suboxone saved their life. Suboxone is a great tool, and again, I'm not bashing on Suboxone. If I was bashing on Suboxone, I would have never made these videos. However, I do believe that tapering is the way to go. Tapering is the way to clean and sober life. A person that is not controlled by an external substance, mind-altering substance, in other words. So please understand that I am not against Suboxone. I'm not against large dosages, and I'm not against you staying on it for a long period of time. However, I will make a separate video why I favor tapering versus maintenance, for example, and detox, because a lot of people either hate Suboxone because they become their slave, and others hate Suboxone because it doesn't work. And in both cases, people are not using Suboxone the right way. Those that really hate it and bash on it have started at a very large dose, and they were never instructed properly how to use it and how to taper it the right way. So now they are stuck at 16 or 24 milligrams for 3-4 years, and their life is miserable. They can't stand it. They hate on Suboxone and whatnot. And others take Suboxone for 2-3 days or 2-3 weeks, and they taper very fast, and they're not responsible with their process, and they hate on Suboxone because it's bad. It gives them cravings, and Suboxone will give you cravings if you're not taking it properly, if you did not induct properly or induce properly. I can never remember which is the right word for Suboxone induction process. So Suboxone is a great tool if it's used properly. I keep saying it over and over again, and we need to understand that we need to take it the right way. And again, tapering is great because it solves a lot of problems down the line. So if you do decide to taper Suboxone, like I recommended in my many other videos in this channel, then you will definitely benefit from what I'm about to share with you. So tip number one, this is something that was shared with me many months ago, and I never got a chance to talk about it in my videos. So what was brought up to my attention, and I actually can definitely attest to validity of this approach, is when you taper, and it doesn't matter which kind of tapering strategy you choose, whether you taper it weekly or monthly or every 5 days, in the middle of your new tapering dose, you want to increase your Suboxone intake to the previous dose. So for example, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you want to go from 4 milligrams a day to 3 milligrams a day. And I'm not saying you should jump by that much, but let's assume you're going from 4 to 3. So, and also let's assume that you're using it every week. So let's say you taper every week. So what is good to do, because Suboxone has a long half-life, and the half-life is claimed to be 72 hours, although I do believe that it's much less than that. I believe it's 48 hours the most, in my personal opinion. If let's say you take Suboxone and you're going from 4 to 3, on day 1 you would take 3, day 2 you would also take 3, day 3 you would take 3, and on day 4, which is when your half-life of Suboxone will kind of catch up, then you take your previous dose. So you kind of reset the half-life of Suboxone by ingesting a little bit more than you did last 3 days. You go back and you take that 4 milligrams, and days 5, 6, and 7 you go back to 3 milligrams. What it does is it kind of tricks your body and tricks your mind, where the adjustment process and you become more accustomed to the new dose. I don't know if I make a lot of sense. I hope I do. But this process actually was proven to work in many, many occasions. So again, the way it works is, if you choose to taper weekly, in our example, in the middle of your tapering process on a new dose, you take previous dose. So let's use another example. Let's say you taper monthly. So for the first 10 days of the month, you take the new dose. Next 10 days, you take the previous dose. And at last 10 days, you take the new dose again. So this will basically reset your absorption. It will reset the amount of Suboxone in your body. So it will definitely benefit you according to a lot of people. I do not know how it feels like to taper every month, but that's what people told me. Another important trick is to use Suboxone more than once a day. And it's not really a secret, but I'm talking about using it 3 times a day. It also will help you tremendously down the line. If you're just starting to taper your Suboxone, it's ideal for you to do it 3 times a day. Why? Once again, it will help you in your steps down the line when it comes to tapering, and also it always will give you constant level of buprenorphine in your system. And I'm talking about those that are starting out with the right dose, meaning not too much, not too little, not 24 milligram kind of people that taking about 8 milligrams a day. So if doctor was to give you 8 milligrams a day, I would take, me personally, what I would do, I would take 3 milligrams in the morning, 3 milligrams in the afternoon, and 2 milligrams about 6 p.m. So you always have a somewhat equal amount of buprenorphine in your system.
It's also going to help you mentally,
because we are creatures of habit, and when we were used to taking something every few hours to avoid withdrawals or to avoid being uncomfortable, whatever, our brain has recorded that in our mind. So in the very beginning, I think it's much better to use Suboxone 3 times a day. It will first help you with the actual levels of buprenorphine in your system, in your body, and also it will help you psychologically. And again, this is for those that choose to do the induction process the right way, where they wait for a long time, they take 2 milligrams at a time until they're stable, and then they start tapering after about a week or so. That's the ideal way to do it. But again, you do not have to taper after a week or after a month. As long as you have cravings, and as long as there's a slightest chance of you to relapse on your drug of choice, whether it's painkillers or oxycodone, whatever, heroin, whatever that drug of choice is, if there's a slightest chance that you might relapse, do not taper. Stay on your stable dose. Don't increase it, don't decrease it. When you realize that you are stable, you're comfortable, then start tapering. Okay guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I hope I answered some of the questions about tapering. Of course, very important stuff is to keep yourself hydrated, and make sure to take your Suboxone same time on a regular basis. Don't try to deviate. In the very beginning, you want to stay as far as possible from your drug of choice. So if you need to take larger dosages in the beginning, do it, but don't go up and down, up and down. You're really going to mess up the levels of buprenorphine in your body, and then it's gonna lead to problems down the road, in my personal opinion. So make sure you're comfortable very first week, very first month. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you have zero cravings and zero discomfort. And I made a lot of videos about avoiding Suboxone's side effects, which is blood pressure, constipation, and whatnot. Headaches is actually very good too. So make sure to watch those videos as well. I will try to leave them at the end of the video. So make sure to check them out if you're interested. So today we covered very important tips and tricks of Suboxone use. So tapering Suboxone, where in the middle of your tapering process, you take your previous dose, whether it's a weekly method or a monthly tapering method or whatever it is. And second tip we talked about is taking Suboxone 3 times a day in the very beginning, as opposed to once or twice a day. So make sure to stay hydrated, make sure to be active, and make sure to eat healthy diet, and you will be doing great, believe me. On this note, guys, I wanted to say thank you for watching my video. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? It's free. It's absolutely doesn't cost you anything. I will be uploading more content, vlogs, and some great success stories, hopefully, in the near future. So stay tuned for more stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Be well, be safe, be happy. Peace.